1 News.
All right, when allergy season strikes, many of us put the blame on trees, on pollen. The grass can be a problem for a lot of people. But instead of staying indoors, you could be watching your health, your diet, and that could actually have a big impact.
Allergy season can be so uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but the foods that you eat could be actually making it better or worse. So joining us this morning for a look at the best and the worst foods when it comes to your allergies, we have Dr. Johnny Shen with American Family Care. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Let's start with what would make things like allergic reactions or seasonal sickness, what would make it worse?
So first of all, it's always important to, I guess, understand what allergies are to begin with. Okay, so a lot of people do confuse allergies with colds and flus and sinus issues,
different.
which is, you know, they present very similarly. A lot of times you have the same symptoms. However, allergies, by definition, are not an infection. It's not with a virus or bacteria. It's not a germ per se. But you do get a lot of the same symptoms: the runny nose, the itchy ears, the stuffed kind of congestion. But in general, what you don't want to be exposed to those allergens.
Okay.
So unless you really know what you're allergic to, it's hard to say, okay, well, you know, I need to avoid certain things, or I can only eat certain things.
So first and foremost, you got to figure out what you're allergic to and what you're not allergic to.
That's right.
Are there things that would make those reactions worse?
Potentially. So there's a lot of studies out there. Now, a lot of these have not been scientifically, you know, proven, especially with a lot of evidence, but there has been some correlation between certain foods that people do consume that seems to exacerbate their symptoms of hay fever, otherwise known as allergic rhinitis, which is what seasonal allergies are.
So we have these pictures up on the screen
Cheese
here.
is good, right?
Is this bad? Is this stuff going to make it worse?
I would say, well, first of all, again, I preface it with the...
Know your
There's
allergies.
some cakes there or some wine. Oh, my God. That is all very good
stuff. But alcohol
stuff.
in general, I mean, whether you're sick or having allergic reactions, alcohol probably doesn't help.
It probably does not help in the long run. In general, because a lot of times the alcohol, you know, obviously it's made from grapes, and there's a lot of chemical compounds in wine and alcohol. And if you have allergies to those compounds, well, then you're not doing yourself any favors by drinking more wine. There are some studies out by Danish groups out there that have shown that people with seasonal allergies seem to get a little worse when they drink that extra margarita or so.
Well, what
or
are there?
five.
Yeah.
Or 5, yeah.
Depends on who you are, I suppose. What about foods that make allergies better?
Yeah, if I have allergies, I know I'm allergic to these 4 things. Obviously, I'm not going to eat those 4 things. But is there other stuff that I can do maybe to boost my system?
Absolutely. So boosting your system at the end of the day is about choosing whole foods, choosing foods that are healthy. You're eating your vegetables and fruits and things like that. Again, if you're allergic to certain vegetables and fruits, you want to avoid that. In general, we say if you have a very varied diet, for instance, then you probably are going to just naturally boost your immune system. There's no actual pill that you can take to actually build and boost your immune system.
Wish there was.
I wish there was. I mean, that's America, you know, you just want a pill for everything.
Well, doctor, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Pleasure to have you with us on this Monday morning. Let's get over to meteorologist Greg Dutra. And Greg, we talk about allergies all the time. I know my son has allergies, and you know, with these grasses starting to sprout up, it's just starting to get kind of bad.
Well, I was just looking outside, and a couple of the trees are budding up. I mean, it